Hello, Kenyans living in the diaspora. I have a word for you today. Today is the second week of May 2023. This is Nairobi, capital city. I want, after you have watched this video, please make sure you forward to somebody in the diaspora. In 2017, you people in the diaspora, you remitted in Kenya 178 billion. That's Kenya shillings. In 2018, you increased to an 80 billion. That's Kenya shillings.
Remittances that were made by the diaspora in 2018 amounted to 251 billion Kenya shillings. And compared to the previous year, in 2017, this figure is 147 billion. So you see an increase of about 40% in just 1 year. And these remittances have been increasing year on, and we expect them to continue increasing. So the challenge is how do we make the best use of these remittances?
And in 2021, your remittance increased in this public called Kenya to 431 billion. The other day, I think 2023, this year, 480 billion.
Remittance inflows to Kenya have increased tenfold in the last 15 years, reaching an all-time record of $3,718 million in 2021, according to Central Bank of Kenya. This is the equivalent of over 456 billion Kenya shillings.
But imagine, with all this money you are sending in our nation, today, 34% of Kenyans, imagine, don't have jobs. Don't have jobs.
Our unemployment rate is something like 34% in Kenya. It is unbelievably and unacceptably high. That means for every 10 Kenyans who are old enough and willing and able to work, 3.5, well, guess 4 are out of a job. Right. So how do we help Kenyans get good, safe jobs? And this is something that my office is pursuing very seriously.
I saw in a clip, a lady there, was a program in the diaspora saying, this money you send to Kenya, it's like there's a hole that consumes that money.
We have been sending a lot of money here in Africa, in Kenya, and we have a feeling it's a big pot with a hole that never fills up. Some of us come back home and find nothing. So how can we change that to generation wealth?
And I'm here to tell you, even this coming year, 2024, I think, that was 2023, you put 480 billion. 23, 2024, maybe you're going to increase. And I'm telling you, if we don't address the main problems, no matter how much money you send here in this republic, to keep on going to that hole. Because they said, most of that money you are sending come to meet basic needs. Your people here, your family members, they have no jobs, they need money to pay rent, some are sick, you see, some don't have food to eat. So they keep talking to you and you keep sending that money. We need to address the main thing, which is manufacturing and agriculture production. But most of your money, you're not investing in manufacturing or in agriculture production. 480 billion. Where do you invest? You invest mostly in circles. There are banks around here where you send your money in bank, they save for you. And also you're doing, some of you are buying houses, which is not bad. But remember, if you don't address poverty, the main thing, the main issue, if you could have addressed poverty, the root cause of the problem we are facing in the nation, that 480 billion is too much money. Would have revolutionized this nation called Kenya, changed completely. Completely. I saw 5 years ago, a report by Oxfam said only 1% of Kenya population, about 8,300 people, they own more wealth than the bottom 99% combined. Can you imagine? That's how our nation is. So with 480 billion, Kenya jobless situation stands at that 4%. But if you can listen to me, we can do something about it. That's why this video I've created is all about. It's all about.
Our unemployment rate is something like 34% in Kenya. It is unbelievably and unacceptably high. That means for every 10 Kenyans who are old enough and willing and able to work, 3.5, well, I guess 4 are out of a job. Right. So how do we help Kenyans get good, safe jobs? And this is something that my office is pursuing very seriously.
It's not a big problem. We can change. The problem we have is the people we look to create this and reduce poverty levels. They will never do that. And that's why for years, every other year, you don't hear new companies coming up. You don't hear new manufacturing coming up. But there are people we look to. We think that the people who are supposed to do it, they will not do it. That's why they are not doing it. So the money you are sending, you save in circles. And banks, you know, they lend the money. That's what they do. You buy in security bonds. In that, I don't see manufacturing. I don't see agriculture. And that's the only way. You know, circles have been structured to save money and to lend to people. Some circles are busy in real estates. Some are busy in buying plots. That's what they do. Banks, they are structured. They have to give loans. You see? So most of big companies are the one who come, they take your money. They go, they do big projects here and there. So 185 billion we invest in this republic. That money will never change this nation until you address the root cause. The root cause. And that's why today I want to tell you, since more is time, the CS, the PS there, come Kibaki's time, the PS, the CS, the senators, the MPs, the governors, come Uhuru's time, the same people. We look to create employment. Up to date, they will never. Because they went for imports. They do quick imports to make quick money. We look to them to do what? To start new factories. Actually, they will never do that. Because to them, if they have 20 million shillings, they know they will go to China, they go to Thailand, they go to these countries, they'll order products, and they'll come in here, they do shipment here. We see lorries all over. That's what they are. So 20 million, within 3 months, they have made 60 million, 70 million. So most of them, they are no more patriotic to this nation called Kenya. And that's why we are looking to the wrong people to help us to change our economy and to change the situation in our land. And that's why young people, young generation, we have to think now, because these big people in government, diplomats, most of them, they're just in imports and exports. They stopped anything to do with manufacturing in the nation. And manufacturing is the only way right now we can create sustainable employment in this nation. You see, the other day I had even toothpicks. We import toothpicks. You see, we pocked everything.
One, we have been borrowing too much. All right, and when you borrow and spend this money on high capital projects, and yet you are forgetting to even have your own food security, where the small MDCs, medium level industrial plants that are even supposed to make toothpicks, things that are places where, I mean, we have a country that, in fact, what happened to us is that we became the dumping supermarket for the Chinese products, and all our products are no longer now. Few are managing to access the international market because of the high standard, and this is where I put our coffee. And yet you can imagine we don't have enough products that we can export so that we can generate revenue even for us to import anything that we may need.
And then we blame, electricity is very high, the cost of production in Kenya is very expensive. Listen, these people are saying this, but we have Indians here, Asians. They are in manufacturing in this nation. They are doing manufacturing. And these people actually are the top richest in this country, even more than those who are importing and exporting. What does that tell you? These people, they should stop lying to us that the cost of manufacturing in Kenya is very expensive. Let's do it practically. Let's do it. They have done that as a scapegoat to have excuse why they should import and keep on creating money. While the nation is going down, there are no jobs. Young people don't have jobs, don't know where to go right now. People are running to go to the Middle East, and that's not the way. Every problem of every nation lies in its own people. This nation has brains, powerful brains, that can change the economy of this nation. But we have allowed politicians to run the show. This is a problem. Vision 2030 has 3 pillars: social, political, and economic. We have allowed the political pillar to rule the day. They are lying to us that Kenya is suffering on a political issue. That's not true. Kenya needs an economic revolution, a change in the economy. That's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. So this rate of employment, we can bring it down. We can bring it down. And that's why I'm appealing to you. Right now, why can't you unite in the diaspora? Imagine 480 billion. Just come with 5 billion. Come to Kenya. Go to a place like Narok. Buy land. Put a factory there. 4 billion, 5 billion. Big factory. Start to make produce shoes. You create employment. Another year, you look for 8 billion. You go to somewhere like Coast. You start a factory to get fish from the deep seas and they feed the whole nation. This is how we need to think now. 480 billion is too much money to be wasted every other year. Every other year. And that's why, in the name of Jesus, being a born-again Christian and by the Spirit of God, I'm feeling there's something wrong. Something wrong. So if we don't do these things, I think in the US, there was a riot and people invaded a supermarket. I saw a clip.
Well, investigators say a mob of at least 200 people smashed the front door of a Walmart on Fletcher Avenue, stealing more than 100 grand worth of merchandise. Surveillance video shows the chaotic scene. Hundreds of people swarm the front of the closed Walmart, shattering the glass doors and forcing their way inside.
We believe at least 200 stormed into the Walmart, and the majority of them headed straight to the electronics section. So the most expensive items in the store is what they were after.
Many have their faces covered. Others are clearly smiling as they rush inside the store and start looting and causing damage. In the footage, you can see people grabbing televisions and trying to get into cash registers.
Approximately $116,000 worth of merchandise and damage was reported from Walmart.
Tampa 911, what is the address of your room?
We're getting braked into CVS on 30th and Fowler, right?
The sheriff's office and the Tampa Police Department are investigating more than 40 businesses that were set on fire, damaged, or burglarized during the unrest of the last 2 weeks.
They went and attacked, I think, Walmart, supermarket, and they took a lot of food stuffs there. That's what can happen to a nation when people began becoming poor. It happens in our nation, Kenya. During Mandamano, people gang, they attack a supermarket, they attack whatever. These are signs of poverty in the land. That's why we have to create structures of employment. The people we thought could help us, some of them will never do that. And they like that, like people being poor, or they can manipulate and control the people. That's why we should now, even Kenyans, even you are a Kenyan in this republic called Kenya, we need to think again, remove our eyes. So I want to give you an offer, that an idea, business concept we can use today and do manufacturing. Go back to agriculture. Yes, I have a company and I want to raise capital. You can join me. We do together in the name of Jesus. What I'm doing, simply, let me give you a summary. My company called Tree Network Limited. We are coming together in this nation. I have a plan to create 2 million jobs, sustainable employment. Yes, I will show you how we're going to do it. That is within 5 years. 5 years, 2 million jobs shall create. The aim here is to reduce mass poverty in the land. And to make this happen, actually, I want to introduce what I'm calling a disruptive market system. Market system, a new market system. This market system shall program 10 million people in the next 5 years to be shopping together through a card system. That's what I want to do. Yes. This new market system shall have new electric buses, supermarkets, chains of restaurants, fast foods, boutiques. We're going to create them. I'll show you how we're going to do them. Yes, Dukam Tani. They're going to use a card system. And then 25% or 30%, whatever the company going to generate, will go back to the consumers, the card holders. The card itself shall have 15 incentives, which shall compel 10 million people to demand to join in the next 5 years. Every year, we shall be graduating people one after the other. So, this card also shall sell it, not for free, 5K, year one. And in year one, as you sell 5K, we program to bring 500,000 people together. Within year one, we'll be trading under one block. So 5K each person bring in, year one shall generate 2.5 billion, just from Kenya here, from the sale of card. We shall invest in supermarkets, restaurants, and so forth. Year two shall increase to 1 million people. The card value shall increase to 15,000, shall raise 15 billion for expanding the market, supermarkets across the nation, okay, from Nairobi and these other towns. Then that year, 2 million people, each card, the card shall increase value to 20,000, we shall have raised 40 billion. We want to do manufacturing, agriculture production, and we're going to do a lot of work within the shortest time possible. Year four shall increase to 3 million, the card value has gone to 25,000, shall raise 25 billion. Then year five, 3,500 people, card value 30,000. Then we have 1.5 billion. From the card, we shall raise 236 billion. 236 billion from the sale of card. This money shall be reinvested in this nation called Kenya for mass job creation. So remember, when some get our card, shall not make him a company shareholder, no, but a company beneficiary. So they get their card, they load their card, and they shop in the system. So our work is to put restaurants for them, do Kamtani for them, all this, and then they load their cards and they shop. You understand? So that's what I want to do. The new market system we want to create shall absorb 90%, 100% of local production, which shall put a demand to all local factories to start to increase production and hence mass job creation. In our own system, we plan to create 500 new companies within our system. 500 new companies. You become one of the MD of that company. That's what we're talking about here. And these people, we're going to give them seed capital, each company, 15,000 shillings, 15 million shillings to start a product for the supermarkets. I will show you how we're going to generate that money. We're going to give them the 15 million shillings per company. So because we have a market of 10 million people, chains of supermarkets, restaurants with a card system, so we need to load those supermarkets with local products. And that's what I'm telling you. We are going back to manufacturing. We are going back to agriculture production. And our people are going to consume our products. And then we pay them. Do you see that? That's how we're going to work. So our projects also go to mass drip irrigation. We want to go there. And also we want to make Kenya a hub of making clothes. We're going to be sold across the commercial region so that we can increase foreign exchange in our nation. And I'm looking for 50 people. First, 50 people to join me. These 50 people who are going to join me, you are supposed to come on board with 160,000 shillings only. 160,000 shillings only. And my company will give you shares of 0.06%. And I'll give you a certificate from the company. That money we raise from the 50 people, we want to start some business together. Business together. So, we want to start some business together. So he said, every person who put 160,000, the 50 people, by the second year of this business, I'll give you a 2-bedroom house. Imagine you invest on 160,000 shillings, you're going to get a 2-bedroom house, and my company going to seed in your company 15 million shillings to do business. And then the products you supply in our network. You have people who are here who don't have jobs. You're going to give them jobs because expect those 500 companies, each company shall create like 1,000 jobs. Yes, we are in there. I talked about, and then after that, we give you jobs, 50 people, 50 houses. Those ones should not pay. Free housing for you. Today you're investing in Circus, and they're telling you pay 5 million to get a house in the next 10 years. Pay mortgage. 50 houses, 2 years, 3 years, you have your house. And then we're going to expand. After we get the 50 people, we're going to now expand to 5,000 people. The first 5,000 people, each person going to invest in our company 5K. We're going to raise 25 million for expanding the market. This is what we want to do. So I'm trying to invite you to come on board. So when you get the first people, 50 people, you put 160,000, we shall raise some capital. We want to do what you call, want to access what you call asset financing. Asset financing from the bank. Talk to the bank, you put 30%, they're going to give you asset financing. So you're going to give that money in installments. The first installment, you give 50,000 shillings. Then we have 2.5 billion, 2.5 million. Then we buy our first bus under asset financing. Okay? Second installment, we give 50,000. We have 2.5 million. Also, we buy our second bus under asset financing. Then that 60,000, you have 3 million. We set up fast food restaurants. So when at this point, we want not to use that buses, the 2 buses and 1 restaurant, fast food restaurant. We want to use those one to bring in 5,000 people. We're going to use the buses, restaurants to recruit 5,000. There's a package I've created. We're going to compare 5,000 people to join us. So the 5,000 who join us, they join us. We're going to use the buses to do marketing. Use our buses to do marketing. So we have 25 million from the people. Within 3 months, we expect to have raised these people from the buses. Our bus people are sitting in the bus. We're selling the concert to them as they come to the city, as they go back in the evening. We are selling the concert to them. So by then, we raise that money. The reason we are coming out with these people, we want to create a base so that we can show the bank, any bank, that we have enough capital to get big loan. We want a big loan. I'll show you how. So we want to show also investors, we have a base. They can give us a bigger loan. So now that money, we got 25 million. We can do two more restaurants. And also we start a taxi cab up. And we put like 4 taxis. We start there. So we want to capture international bodies. And also people like African Development Bank, maybe Sweet Fund, DFID. USAID, they have a program called DIV, DFC, OECD, and many other funders. We talk to them. Not local banks. We don't want to talk to local banks. We want to talk to big organizations that can give us big money. Big money. I'll give an example. Let's say we have 5,000 people we have recruited, and we want them to use our restaurants in the state of Nairobi. 5,000 people. Okay, we have 2 restaurants and 1 fast food, remember? After those people came in, they gave 5K. We raised about 25 million. We put 2 restaurants, 1 can sit, 1 cost 10 million. Let's start like that, a minimum one. So these people, we have trained them to eat in our restaurant. So 200 people eating 300 shillings per day. Within 1 hour, they can put in our restaurant 60,000, okay? In a day, that restaurant sitting 200 people at 1 hour can seat 2,400 people within 12 hours. So times 3. So 2,000 times 3 times 1 hour, for example. 2,000 times 300 times 12. That's about 8,600,000. This is within a day. Within a day. So you can calculate that within 30 days. You can see how much money you can generate. 12 hours, 8 million. So there'll be a lot of money coming, flowing. So we will not go with those small banks that are giving small money. We want big money. So we talk to people like African Development Bank. We go for, like them, they give like from 5 billion shillings. The least they can give. And then our company going to give them shares. We give them equity, you see. So we have the 2 buses. We have a fast food restaurant. We have 2 restaurants. We have 5,000 people. We have a taxi app. That one is enough to pull any bank to come on board and give us a hand, okay? Because some of these banks, some of these international organizations, they fund agriculture because that's where to go, manufacturing, IT, youth, women, empowerment. And so that's the money we need to do. So we get that support. And then assume we have gotten the 5 billion loan from these people. Because that's the money we want. That's the money we want. So with 5 billion, you can start to put 20 restaurants, chicken chips like 30, like 20 buses, 50 Duka Mtaani, 2 supermarkets, 5 bread factories, 350 million, boil water, Rory, Unga factory, mineral water. We put a chemist in an ambulance. We start to rear chicken feed and hatching. We buy land for maize farming, other logistics. So you have this kind of money there. You see? So with this system set now, we want now to recruit 500,000 people to join our business because we have created the structures for them. And we sell them our card for 5K. So within 6 months, 5,000 people, 500,000 people in Kenya, in Nairobi, will have joined our business with 5K and brought 2.5 billion more money to our system. So year 1, with 2.5 billion, we increase production, manufacturing, supermarkets. We increase those things. And the first 50 people who brought your money, that 160,000, we have shamba. We have a lorry now. We can drill you free water, boil water. And then we're going to begin to do what we call drip irrigation. We have bought land. We want to lower the price of maize down. See? So we have, in year 1, we have buses, we have restaurants, we have a supermarket, we have Duka Mtaani. We have a chip and chips corner, we have boutique. Because we have a network of people and they have to shop in our system. And we have a taxi. So year 2, we increase members to 1 million and we raise another 15 billion. 15 billion. That's where we are going now. Year 2, we raise 15 billion. You see? So we want to grow fast. We want to grow fast. 15 billion. When at this level now, we want to empower the 5,000 people. 5,000. 5,000. Year 2. So we have 15 billion. Now year 2, that's when we begin to do housing. The 50 people who gave their money, we first give you the first houses. No mortgage, free housing, 2-bedroom. It's there. So we also invest in high-end vehicles for the 50 people because we are now business diplomats. We want to make you people look good, powerful in the company. We shall have also field vehicles to go out. You 50 people who are coming on board, maybe having vehicles like this one to go out, just sign and your driver. And you go to the field because we want to give you a job. The 50 people, you're going to become the investment committee, the planning committee. You become people who will be monitoring hotels, public bus monitoring team, manufacturing monitoring team, cooperative monitoring team, supermarkets monitoring team, agriculture officers monitoring team, distribution channels, Duka Mtaani monitoring teams, building premise monitoring team, training committee. We have those 50 people there. For example, you want to, a hotel need to be started. So there'll be a monitoring team in charge of the hotel. Their work is to go out, they go look for that premise, they look at it, they check it out in and down, they look for promises, and when it's good, they come and tell the planning committee, and then they talk to the investment committee, and then money is released for that. So everybody shall have his own assignment. Supermarket the same, restaurant the same, you see? Buses the same. So like that. So the 50 people, you play a great role in this company. You're not just putting on 160,000, no. we want to work as a team, as a big team. So year 2, the 5,000 people are going to empower them. Each, we're going to put them in groups of 10. You remember the first 5,000 people who gave the 5K and raised 25 million. So we give them in groups of 10. So 500. We want to make them birth 500 companies. Where did that money come from? From bread. In Kenya, we have 57 million people. 20 million people assume eat bread every day. Now, leave 20 million. Our company want to tap only 1 million people. Let's say in a day, one bread makes 10 shillings profit because bread is sold at 50 or 60 shillings. So we do 1 million loaves per day. Then in a day, we sell 10 million shillings. Monthly, 300 million. Then annual 3.6 billion. That's the money. We want to empower the 5,000 people. We put them in groups of 10 to start manufacturing. We're going to give them loan. Seed capital, and there's also a loan. Give them like seed capital of 7 million and then a loan of 7 million. We do like that. Now, so in Western Kenya, we want to put one factory to do bread, which can do 200 loaves of bread. And then in Nairobi here, we also put another one who can do 200 loaves of bread. In Rift Valley, another one. Okay? In Eastern and in Coast. 5 companies. Don't tell me you have to do them in the next 5 years. No, these companies are going to do them in the next 6 months. What you need is someone like you. You are the MD. You tell you how much money you need. Go to Western. Tell us how much do you need. You go and look for a premise there. And then we bring in machine. Remember our budget from the loan? 350 million. One factory. That money is there. So you go to Western. Another one in Nairobi. Another one in Eastern. Another one in Coast. Start production. We have a supermarket. We have shops. We have already people ready to buy our bread. You see that? So, very easy. We are creating employment now. No joke now. So, within 2 years, there's a structure there. In Western, Nyanza, wherever, the companies funded, which are funded by Yangapi. Year 3, 480 companies. Give them, each person, give them money, 15 million shillings. They are doing production. So their work is to make sure they produce products. But these people, we're going to put them under KEBS training. We train them. KEBS, Kiridi. We bring in, like in Nairobi University, Department of Agriculture. They come and train them. All these people, they come and train them. So we have a company there. They have to produce products. And also you 50 people, you are given each 15 million. Produce a product for the supermarkets. That's what we're going to do that. We're going to do. Year 3. We increase membership to 2 million. Now we have set the system. The structure is set. People are rushing to come in. In our supermarkets, unga is sold at 50 shillings because we have bought land, we are farming, we are doing irrigation. So no joke around. If anyone who has a card, they can access our products on low price. Do you see that? So we do mechanized agriculture. We do drip irrigation. We do farming, we buy land, we start manufacturing high level. We empower cooperatives. We're going to work with all cooperatives in Kenya. We're going to empower them to start doing production. And then one thing, we're going to be able to tap water from the rivers. We generate this kind of generators, we drop water from the river, then we do drip irrigation. So we're going to do dry technology, we do sweet potato, we do dry technology. That's what we want to do. So, let me tell you, the 50 people who came in, how are you going to earn? Let me show you how you're going to earn. You remember, we brought people in. So everybody going to use their card to shop. They load their card. And the minimum 5K. So let's say year 1, 5,000 people, 500,000 people, they load their card with 5K to shop. So every day, every month, we have sales of 2.5 billion. Annual 30 billion. You see? 1 million, year 2, we have sales of 90 billion. Year 3, we have sales of 210 billion. Year 4, we have 390. Year 5, we have 600 billion. That's where we are going. Just sales from these people. They using their cards, selling 5K minimum on the lowest level so that they can earn. So with your 0.06% in year 1, when you got off 30 billion, imagine year 1, my company will give you 4.6 million. Year 1. That's 0.06%. Year 1, imagine you get 4.6 million. Year 2, 13 million. Year 3, 32 million. Year 4, 60 million. Year 9, 69 million. This is business. And that's why I'm inviting you to come on board. This super brain that God gave to me, we do business. So you're going to earn there. Okay? And this is a structure of shares. So 25%, whatever the company going to generate to go back to the public, do the card system. So they're going to use their card and we pay them. Do the 15 incentives. 10 million going to be united together. 30 million going to go back to investment. And 10% is going to fund the gospel. Preachers in Kenya, all preachers, they're going to get our card. They shop, they use their card. And then they're going to ask for a grant from that 10%. So every person in Kenya will be running to become a member of this business system, because we are creating the market system so that now we can reprogram Kenyans to buy and build Kenya and to love Kenyan products. Ile ingine kwa ya mdomo to buy and build Kenya, but this one now become practical. Hakuna mchezo. I want brains, super brains to join me. There are people who don't understand this, but you who is getting, please come. Let's do it. 160,000 shillings, that's what I need from you. We come together, we create this structure, and we move. We have no time. We need to create employment. Our people are going to Saudi Arabia to die there. Why? And we can create employment. That's why I showed you 2 million jobs. So, from that money, 25% of the members there, we want to create 5,000 houses. We put on a mortgage for the first 5,000 people who came on board and they put their 5,000 shillings. Can you imagine? This will be one of the best companies ever. Anybody will be around to want to work with, to want to become part of it. The 50 people, you're going to become one of the best people, top company. Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, they be coming to Kenya to find out, how did you do it, you Kenyans? Yes, that's what we want to do. So, the year 5, we'll invest so much in textile, cotton farming. Because we want to do a lot of clothing. A lot of clothing. We don't want to use any clothes from other nations. We are tired of this mess. Clothes will come from our nation. We're going to build houses. I'll give you an example. Men's suits, we're going to do them. Cost 5K. 5 million men bought a suit worth 5K. Do you know how much money that? Times 3 times in a year. That's 75 billion. Okay? Women's skirts, 4,000 shillings. 5 million of them bought. 6 times a year. We raise 8 billion. So you can imagine this kind of money being losing. We have been losing as a nation. We're going to trap it. Our money, our people, 10 million, going to be using our clothing, going to make clothes, and also going to spread them around across these commercial regions. This is going to create mass employment never seen before in this Republic of Kenya. We want to do people from abroad. Some of you, God send you in America, in Australia, in Europe, in Canada, wherever. Kazi yenyu ilikwisha huko, and you need to come back here. This is a gateway I'm creating for you. There will be about many jobs for people like you to come and do. And that's why you have to join me as we put this program. Now, when these people buy this clothing, we're going to put them now under mortgage. We know 10 million people, they are shopping. Billions of monies are flowing. Now, we're going to put them under mortgage plan. Give them housing. So, I don't want to share much of the things we're going to do, but I've just shared you briefly. I'll give you a skeleton. We do have our monthly meeting. Our monthly meeting in Nairobi here, where we meet as business. We discuss business. I want you to join me. Even if you're listening to me, you're in Kenya, you can join me in that business. But I don't want to invite you just to come and sit there. No, it has to cost you. You have to pay 1,000 shillings. There's a number, my phone number, my M-Pesa number. You pay 1,000 shillings. And then when we have a meeting, I'll program you come. If you are in America, in Europe, or in those diaspora nations, in Africa, I'll put you under Zoom, a Zoom program. We'll be having our next meeting. The first meeting we had, 45 people came. We'll be having another one. They have registered. We are pushing to have 50 people. We're going to raise 160,000 shillings. This is why these videos are being created. So if God has touched your heart, don't waste more time. We have no time. We need to go quickly and begin to do this kind of work. So to join me, you need to use my phone number. My number is there. I'll give you my number there. That number, You can text me or call me and ask me whether the number 50 you attained. You can be in Nairobi, you can be in Kenya, you can be in those other countries, anywhere around Kenya or outside Kenya. We have a website. That website that appears there. I've put some videos there. Those videos can go there and get more information about this business, this project, what you're planning to do. Because right now, Kenya is going down. Economically, we're going down. 34% people don't have jobs. So we have to see, how can we change this? We can do it. We can do it. Nothing's impossible with Kenyans. We're the one who birthed Safaricom, M-Pesa, and they shook the entire world. Even this project we are doing right now. So I want you to join me. And also, if you feel you can pay that money, because already you have people who began to pay, that is 160,000. I'll give you a company pay bill number. It's there. Company pay bill number. You can use that company pay bill number. Any money, big money, you pay through the company. Sawa. So let's connect and let's work. Me wait to hear from you. The Lord bless you. In Jesus' name, amen.